money.
Yeah.
But it sure does help.
It do. Okay, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite realtor, Cherie, and I have some special guests with me. I'm so excited, and I want you guys to introduce yourself first, and then we're gonna get right into it. So,
Cool.
we'll start with Casey.
Hi, I'm Cassea Bear. I am with Social House Group, and I've been in the game for like 3 years.
Okay.
So I'm Shane. I also work with Social House Real Estate Group, and I've been in the real estate game for a little over 2 years now.
Hi, I am LaTrease Posey with eXp Realty. You can follow me at iCalledLP. I have been in the real estate industry for 2 years and the mortgage industry for 7 years prior to that.
Okay.
Hello. I am Norm Trotter, the Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate. I'm still holding on to a little bit of my money because I need it. I am currently with Real Estate One and making a transition as we speak. Been a realtor for over 10 years.
Y'all don't let Norm know that money's not real.
You're going to have to tell them that.
So as you guys know, I'm with eXp Realty, and then let's just get into it. So let's talk about why you became a real estate agent and the benefits, and then a little bit more about yourself, your backstory.
All right, cool. You want me to start?
Yeah.
Or anybody, jump in.
All right, so I got into real estate a little over 2 years ago, and it was basically because I love to help people.
Mhm.
We always joke about it being about the money and all that kind of stuff, which is a nice perk, but really I came over from the public service industry before this, and I really just had a love for houses and a love for entrepreneurship, and I thought that this was a great outlet for me to kind of expand my business and grow my wealth while also helping people. So it kind of is the best of both worlds, I'd say.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's true.
For me, I came over, I had been helping people purchase homes, refinance their homes for almost a decade in the mortgage industry. And I kind of got burnt out. I still wanted to help people. I still wanted to be available. I loved helping people purchase their first home. And I got the warm and fuzzies. And I was just like, I want to transition to real estate to have a little bit more of what I thought would be a work-life balance. And just more freedom to have more time with my family.
Yeah.
So you got some skin in the game.
Oh, yeah.
You still find that work-life balance, or have?
I'm still trying to figure it out because I
Good luck.
have very crazy goals. So it's kind of like if you can't do both. Like you can't want to make all this money or do all of this stuff and then only work, every blue moon. So I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think over time you'll get to that point. I noticed with a lot of veterans that have been in the industry, they have a lot of referral, repeat business. So it's just about growing your business. Do you want to go? Or?
Yeah. So I got in real estate, kind of similar to Shane. Like, I just love people. I love building relationships, and like that's my favorite thing about real estate. At the time, actually, I worked at Marriott for like 10 years, and that tanked because of COVID. So my brother and sister were like, "Hey, you'd be great at real estate," and I was like, let's just dive in. And I dove head first and like landed somewhere I never thought I would be, and I'm absolutely obsessed with real estate and I love it.
Nice.
Dope.
Nice.
So I got into real estate back in when the market crashed officially. It's like 2009, and I was looking for homes for myself, and I started finding myself like enjoying just going out looking at homes. Back then, you could go and look at 50 houses on the same block. So I just started like literally enjoying that part of the process. Yeah, it was crazy. It was Wild West. And so I just jumped on into it. I thought it was going to be easy too. That was the other thing. Real talk.
So it's crazy. So you experienced where there was a plethora of inventory, and now we're in the back end of that where it's just like we're struggling and fighting for the same house, right?
100% different market.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And so I became a real estate agent during the pandemic. They call us, when I talk to other agents, pandemic realtors or pandemic babies. And I think it was the best decision of my life. Me too. I lost my job during the pandemic. Art Van, it went bankrupt, if you know Art Van here. So that's how, after I graduated from college, I worked on my sales skills, and I got introduced to like real estate and the people that was purchasing home, buying furniture from me. So I'm excited I made that move because I was working at Enterprise for like 3 months, and I was like, this is not for me. And so I like to get dressed up. I like to help people too. That's our common thing that we have in common, that we like to help people. So a lot of people think this lifestyle is all about like the glam and glitz, and you're just gonna make a whole bunch of money, but they don't really understand or put respect on our name as agents. They don't see the back end of the business. So can we like just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the stress and the 24/7. Can we talk about 24/7?
I was gonna say
24/7.
my phone is constantly on and constantly ringing, and it's one of those things that you have to develop a work-life balance, and it's so tough in our industry because we are just so busy chasing the transaction, chasing the pay. I mean, we are all commission based too, so it's kind of like what you put in is what you get out of it.
Exactly.
And I personally, I struggle with putting limitations on when I'm answering clients and all that kind of stuff.
Because you don't want to miss out on a deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely a go workhorse type of mentality that you have to be successful in this business.
You have to be a go-getter in this business.
Yeah,
If you are
for
not
sure.
self-motivated, you will not make it.
Right.
Is that from
Absolutely.
your guys' experience?
Yeah, I would say because I had been in like on the mortgage side for so long, I was so used to getting like referrals. Like Norm was one of my top referring agents, and I was just so used to like leads and deals falling in my lap. And then I got over to real estate, and initially when I first started, it was just like that. Like I was getting Facebook leads,
Wow.
and then it was just a month where like I
The
didn't make
wheels
nothing,
dried
and I
up.
was like,
Oh.
wait, like what's going on? You know,
Yeah.
like you have to push, and then you have to chase too, because if you don't follow up, you lose out on so much business.
That's true.
And clients are like now. So like you can follow up with somebody for 3 months, and then I'm busy. It's not a good time. They won't even respond. But the second they're ready, if you don't pick up the phone,
That's
They're
it.
gonna
they'll
take
call
next
somebody
person.
That's
else.
it. And, and that's what truly makes you kind of feel like you got to answer every call. You know, once you hit a certain stage, it doesn't matter. It's not even about the finances. It's about like your quality of life and what you really truly value. So like even for me, like every now and again, I'll answer a call when I know I really shouldn't. I was just Saturday. I'm at my son's track meet. It was raining. I'm out there 6-7 hours. Guy calls me and he's like, "Yeah, I just need a roof tarp." You know, I'm like, "All right, well, I reach out to one of my contractors," and he's like, "Okay, so do you think that you can get that to me right now?" I'm like, "Well, right now I'm at my son's track event." He's like, "Okay, so what time do you think?" You know, I'm like, "Come on, man, I'm out here trying to enjoy myself," but it's the culture, so you have to navigate, figure out what's going to work for you and your business, because that guy, may say, "I don't want to work with you. You're too busy," so.
Exactly.
That's a great point. And I just want to piggyback off of that. So each agent, they run their business different, right? Because we're all, as we sit here, we're all a part of different brokerage and things like that. So that's why I wanted to get you guys together, because we all contribute a little bit different dynamics to the business. We have different perspectives, different experience. So I'm excited to just like unload just basically all there is to know about like being the back end of it, and then also the client that you pretty much gear your business to, right? Because as we grow in our experience, we get to pick and choose who we want to work with. Do you feel that way now? Because I know in the beginning you guys said that you typically will answer the phone, but because your value increased, do you think that now you pretty much just at a certain time, I want to work with this person, or if I don't, like, how did that work?
That's honestly such a great point, because at the beginning, it's the hustle. You're answering every single phone call. You're trying to make sure that you are the most available agent.
Yeah.
As time goes on, you start to understand what your value is and what you bring to the table. And hopefully your clients are going to respect that. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm going to be turning my phone off at 5 p.m. and you can't reach me until the next business day. But if I want to go on Do Not Disturb at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night,
You should be able to do that.
I should be able to do that. Right? I mean, I got reality TV to watch. So, I mean, it's one of those things. And when you have clients, too, that are a little more taxing or needy, you start to kind of figure out which ones you want to work with, and you can be a little bit more picky as your success grows in the business.
I want to piggyback off of that too. So I had a client recently, and what I learned is how to read people being an agent, right? Because some people, you just need to explain everything to them, because if not, you leave room for confusion, and they'll be like, "Well, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that." When they signed the contract, and you should have just read the contract, because I tell them in person, I texted, make sure you read everything, you review everything, and if you have any questions, get at me. You know? So that's really important too. Like,
Which this is definitely different from reading people, which
Right.
we can do to you too if you want.
yeah.
Read them down and say, hey, you know,
Not that reading.
Right.
your shoes don't look great.
I mean, it's natural too, though. I mean, you know, so when I first got in the game, I'm not a car guy or anything like that. I just needed to get me from A to B. I had some young kid had just hit my nice car, and I was like, I got my money. I bought me a little something to get around in, and I was in like I think it was like a Crown Vic or something like that. It was an older model Crown Vic, but I'm telling you, I was driving. I'm pulling up to people's houses like, yeah, so I'm Norm, and I'm going to do this, that, and the other for you. And they're like, how? Like, you don't look like you do anything. So people are judging you based off of, you know, they reading you right off the top. You know, what you look like, how do you present yourself? If you pull up and like, I mean, if your car look like it's worth $1,500, how are you going to sell me this $1.5 million house?
Perception is reality.
Yeah, you know, and I get it to an extent. And so I went and got a Cadillac.
Yeah.
I mean, I needed to make some money.
When you're whenever you meet anybody, you're not selling yourself, but you're showing them yourself because it's their first time meeting you. Like, you're selling yourself. You really, you know.
See, we don't sell real estate. We sell ourselves, right?
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Okay, don't cut that, Ron.
And I don't sell. I sell an experience, you know. So when you walk around, and story. So LaTrease and her mother, I sold her mom a home. This was my lender, and she was with. You know, can we say quick and weird? Oh, I did. She was with me at the time. And I told her then the only reason why I'm referring clients is because of her. She was amazing, banker. So I kept working with her. But yeah, like the experience, like going out with her and her mom, you know, we created a relationship that extended past just real estate, you know. I mean, I've been to the parties, I've been to the wedding, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, the relationship building and stuff like that and the experiences that you get to, you know, garner. It's not just about going out and selling a house it could be a $20,000 house or low, or it could be, you know, something really high to put a lot of money in your bank account. But
you know,
so
I honestly don't even consider, like, personally myself a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I never call myself a salesperson because I'm never selling anything. Like, I'm just a genuine person that cares about my clients, and I'm here to advise them and guide them. So I think I'm more of an educator. And you know, I'm not a salesperson. I'm never pushing anything on you. I'm looking out for my client's best interests.
I tell my clients, like, I'm the plug. Like, I'm the resource. Like, and I kind of got a lot of that from Norm because I know I could call him like, hey, I need a contractor for this, or I need a plumber. And I wanted to be that person for my clients. Like, you need somebody to do this? Oh, I got somebody for that. Right, you know, so you want to be a resource. You want them to be able to depend on you. So.
We're the anchor in the transactions. We like hold everything together. Yeah, so it's really important.
You definitely wear many different hats.
Exactly. Yes. People don't know, like, the back end, like, I have had transactions, like, someone told me this earlier in my career. They said, always be the calmest person in the transaction, right? And then also, I'm constantly educating myself because things change. And I know a lot of times people get complacent and they don't evolve with the markets. So being the calmest person, be like, instead of just killing a deal and going back with that negative feedback to your client, let's brainstorm. Like, how can we keep this deal going? So I would, like, ask the question, like, do you have a story? Like,
I have a story. So this actually just happened. My most recent under contract deal. We were the best offer. My person I'm working with now, the listing agent, reached out to me and said, hey, I love how you do business. I love how you formulated your offer. You do have the highest offer, but I want to let you know that the seller's buddy came in $1,000 underneath you, and he's going to sell it to his buddy instead. And there's a few ways that you can react to that. You can be the calmest person in the room and say, you know what, that stinks, but it's life, and it's the seller's choice on who he wants to go with, and you can only advise so much. Or I can pop off on this guy and say, screw you, we have the highest offer, you should go with us. Right. We have great terms, all that kind of stuff. So I let it be. I was cool, calm, and collected. And 2 days later, he gives me a call and says, hey, you still want that house? Wow. I said, sure do. And he said, you know what, I really appreciated how you handled yourself and how calm you were with everything. You were very professional. And I talked to my seller and I said, hey, we need to go with this guy because he knows what he's doing and we're going to close this deal. And you know what? That's kind of how you want to put yourself out to other people because longevity is a big thing in this business and you want people to want to work with you and not have a bad like taste in their mouth about your name when they see it pop up.
Right.
And
that's a great point.
let's talk about
Yeah.
establishing relationships in this business, because relationships everything. You're gonna come across this agent multiple times. You know, you're not just gonna see them one time.
Yeah.
So if they already know you and know how your character is, they're gonna want to work with you on future deals.
Right.
Yeah, it make it real easy, especially when you develop a rapport with somebody that you know we gonna get the deal to the finish line regardless. You know, we'll talk it through or whatever, still keeping our clients' best interest in mind, but you can work together. That's really what's important.
That's true. So leveraging your connections with people will take you a long way.
Yeah.
And then I also heard you talk about like structuring a deal too. If it's
All right, y'all. Let's talk about relationships. And I think that you have something to say.
So one of my mentors in the industry always tells me, like, you're supposed to be collecting people. Like, that's what you do as a real estate agent. And I think some people sever ties with people, or they let one bad deal or one bad experience mess them up. And then you might run across that agent again for another deal, you know? So I'm always professional. I don't take it, personally if they don't accept my offer or whatever the case may be. And you always want to be constantly collecting people. Like I was at Starbucks the other day in Birmingham, just randomly wanted to go to Starbucks. And I heard somebody say something about purchase agreement and my ears went off. And I'm like, purchase agreement. And then there was nowhere to sit. And guess who they had to sit next to? They came and sat next to me. Yeah. So I'm just like, hey, are either of you guys, real estate agents? And they were like, no, thank goodness. And now, mind you, I have on my realtor shirt. So it says realtor right across my sweater. He's like, we just got an offer accepted on a deal, but we don't even have to use a realtor. Thank goodness. And the guy was like, read the room. Like, you see her shirt says she's a realtor. And by the end of the conversation, he was just like, I passed him my dot card. He scanned it. He was just like, yeah, I don't collect business cards. And, if you really want somebody's information, you're going to store it in your phone, which is true. Right. So he texted me immediately. It was just like, hey, if you have any dental buildings, we're your buyers. And it was just like, boom, I didn't have any expectations. I was waiting on it to stop raining before I left Starbucks. And, there's another relationship. So I think if you're just genuine and you're constantly talking to people, somebody texted me the other day and was just like, my trash can is messed up. They thought I was the sewage department. I was just like, hey, can't help you there. But if you have anybody that's looking to buy a home, like, you constantly have to be on.
That's true.
Because nobody knows. Like, if you don't make yourself known that you're a real estate agent, how are they going to know?
Yeah. Sherry taught me that too. So what I do now, even when I go in the grocery store, anywhere I go, I'm in the elevator, no one has to speak. I don't care about the temperature in the room. I'm saying hi. I'm smiling at them. I'm making eye contact. It just helps, like, sometimes that can help someone, brighten somebody's day just by just speaking and saying hi and smiling at them, because you never know what no one's going through. And also, like you said, you build connections as you go too. I said, I always ask them, do you mind if I give you my business card? I slip that in every time.
Yeah, and I mean, like, conversation is king or queen.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get anywhere unless you put yourself out there and make it known that you're here to help. So don't be scared. I think that what takes us all back a little bit is that nervous energy of what are they going to say or how are they going to perceive me approaching them. But everybody feeds off of your energy, and when they see you being nervous, they're going to be nervous. If you're confident, they're going to say, okay, well, this person's just outgoing, lively, and wants to talk, so I'm more receptive to it, I would say.
And everybody knows somebody that's looking to buy it. Like, that's the one, like, and that's why I wear a lot of stuff that just says realtor. Like, I wear a name tag or like a badge or anything to just be a conversation starter, because you can go anywhere and people will just randomly talk about them needing somewhere to live, or they know somebody that they need somewhere to live. So you don't have to sell the service or sell yourself, because you're providing a service that people need. People are always going to need somewhere to lay their head, so.
What do you say about this? Oh, go ahead.
No, that leads me into a great question about branding then, because you're talking about how you're always branding yourself. So how do you brand yourself? How are you getting yourself out there? How does your name be known?
So I'm shy, really, believe it or not.
Nobody's
if somebody talks to me, like Cherie, randomly, like, we just instantly click. Like, if somebody talks to me, I'm not shy. Like, I'm not shy to have a conversation. But I've never been the person that's just like, hey, how you doing? Right. My name is such and such. Like, I'm not that person. So with me wearing like the badges or the shirt, I'll even wear like a shirt that has like my Instagram on there, because then if somebody comes up to me, then I'm on, like, I can talk, I'm comfortable. But as far as like just going up to people like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
like those guys, I probably wouldn't have said anything to them. And I mean, it was just the fact that they said purchase agreement. I was just like, okay, you cannot not say
Right.
anything,
That was
you know?
that was
Yeah.
a signal God was telling you, talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they came and sat next to me. I'm like, okay, you come on.
That was the
now.
second
Get
sign.
over it. Get over it. You know,
As-
so.
I think you do gotta have a level of, like being an extrovert. Like I think everybody in here has to have that element. I think you're gonna be a little bit more successful if you can be able to gravitate and reach out to people and kind of like garner their attention and stuff like that. I consider myself to be a little bit of an introvert as well.
Oh God.
And so-
No, not
We all got the
you.
self-proclaimed
Norm, whatever.
Yeah. So like I'm forcing myself, like even right now, like this is amazing. I think the opportunity to talk to people and kind of let them know what it's like on the life in our space here as realtors or whatever. Like this is different for me. This isn't something that I'm naturally comfortable with. Yeah, I can walk out and I can sell water to a well, but that's just something that I've conditioned myself to be able to do. So like even just picking up different things and applying it to your skill set or whatnot, and I think that you'll be successful in this space.
To piggyback on that, a big slogan I always use is like, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Ooh, that's true.
Because that's when you
true.
grow, especially in this
That's
business.
it.
Like, I know, like, I get butterflies when I'm about to approach somebody, like, oh, should I do it? But I'm like, yeah, we're just building connections.
Yeah.
We're just being genuine.
Yeah, like if you are that person that is just never shy, I was at a bar at a networking event and I was with my lender partner and I was just like, we need to go connect with this guy because we can have a home buyer seminar and this and this. And I'm like, go talk to him because I know I would be too shy. And he went over there and I could see it was not going well. So I was just like, let me go and create this connection. And now we are in the process of like planning like a huge home buyer seminar.
Love
That's
that.
big.
Yeah.
And I think networking
amazing.
is huge.
It is-
Like networking events,
Yeah.
that's a huge part of your brand because you have to get people.
What
to know
question
who
did you
are.
just ask me in the sauna the other day?
What did I ask you? I don't remember.
What is the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire?
Oh, that's a great point. What's the difference? Guys, what's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire?
I can tell you right now, a couple zeros.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's true.
We got that
what's
money, honey.
What's another? Okay, so actually, I was watching this podcast, and so this man said that the difference between, because he was a millionaire, and he asked the billionaire this question, and he wanted to get to a billionaire status, and he said networking. Just one word, networking. So sometimes, I mean, it is about what you know, but also it's more importantly who you know, if you think about it.
Yeah, who you know is
It's
huge.
it's huge.
Like that's been a big part of my success. I would say is like building those relationships, and then you don't necessarily develop a relationship for what that person can do for you, but down the line, like things do happen. So I mean, like I said, we've been we built this network, Teresa and I for some years, and I think that it's been mutually beneficial. Like when I was referring clients to her, now she's out here selling $5 million, closing $5 million deals at a time and stuff.
All right.
I was a sensei, and now
We multi-million-dollar producer.
Oh, okay.
All right. So she don't need that money. Give it all to me. But you know what? I'm glad we're sitting here because ultimately we're creating a space where we're not competing amongst each other. Ultimately, it's a huge collaboration, and we should all work together because we create the environment, right?
Yeah.
So
on top of that, there's so much business out there
Yeah.
that everybody always says, why are you fighting with other people over clients and all that stuff? There's so many people always looking to buy, sell, invest.
True.
You cultivate those relationships, you network, and you make good connections, do a good job, and those turn into referrals, and you never know what that next referral is going to be. It can be game-changing for you.
So I wanted to piggyback off of that. So I'm kind of like, another thing I do with Brandon, I'm on 107.5 every
Good
Sunday.
for you.
Nice.
Thank you. So I have realtors that are, like, I have an affiliation with Michigan Institute of Real Estate. So when they sign up, I send them my link, and I offer them, like, discounts on, like, training and stuff so they can pass the test the first time. And I've had some people reach out to me and they were just like, hey, I failed it a couple of times. What can I do? And I'm like, hey, here's this link. If you do this, you do X, Y, and Z, I guarantee you're going to pass it the first time. And they pass it and they go on to another brokerage.
What?
And
They don't come under you? That's not right. So,
and this is this is the thing. So I'm still about building relationships. So I don't have any ill will toward them. You know, I'm like, hey, I helped you pass and become a real estate agent. If I haven't created enough value, I'm not going to beg you to be a part of me because you're a new agent. I'm going to be helping you more than you are going to be helping me, you know, by joining because I'm going to be a resource. I'm going to be a mentor. I'm a certified mentor with EXP. Like, I know that my value.
You have people underneath you right now?
Yeah.
I didn't even try to, but I have 2 people underneath me.
Wow.
And my best friend he's taking a class right now, and I told him straight up, if you don't come underneath me, become a real estate agent because I'm helping you now, we're not friends anymore. So I'm just saying.
Don't be like that.
I'm just joking.
So Norm is transitioning to EXP.
He told us,
and he's not coming in.
I asked him who he coming under.
Who's got the tea?
But okay, so here's the thing. So not just with him, but just anybody. Like the other people that I mentioned, those were new agents. You know, so for them, they're doing their own thing. One of them is doing really good. You know, she wants to go into construction and development. You know, so she feels like she can get, you know, more direction where she is. I'm so supportive of her. I'm so proud of her. And I'm just like, hey, whatever you learn that you can teach me, you know, like you're somewhere else in a different space where I don't know.
It's all about alignment.
Yes. You know, that experience. Yes. So I'm completely satisfied with her decision because that's where you want to be. That's what you want to do. And I can learn from you. I'm not so prideful where I'm like, hey, I can't learn from you because you're newer than me or anything like that. But I have some agents that went somewhere else and they're just like, hey, can you help me write this offer? No. Can you do this? Can you do that? No. And oddly enough, I still help them. You know, I still help them. So it's just like, it's enough money out here for all of us to get paid. So I'm not upset about it. I know what value I bring. My mentees right now, all of them have pre-approved buyers that I've given them. I'm not taking half. I'm not cutting it into like a team commission or anything like that. So I know that I bring value. Like you're going to close your deals. You're going to get like, hey, did you call them? Let's schedule some showings. Like I'll go to a listing appointment with you. So I know what I bring to the table. So it's just kind of like, if you don't want to work with me, it's your loss. So
what advice would you?
I feel like that kind of transitions a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Into Norm coming over to EXP.
You want to get back to the
I want to know.
Okay, let's spill the tea.
Spill the tea, Norm.
So real talk. You know,
look at the
Treese is where she's at. I think, you know, if we keep it in a butt, she reached out to me. I said, you know what, Treese, I'm unorthodox. You know, like I'm not about to, you know, walk you through these steps. You know, this is when she was considering, you know, becoming a realtor. And I said, you know, I'm not really a good trainer. I'm not, you know, like I just get shit done. You know, like that's really how I do it. Like, you know, my mentor was, man, I'm going to leave her name out, but she taught me the game from a completely different standpoint. You talking about people using roadmaps and, you know, to go and, you know, look at their houses and stuff like that. Like, you know, y'all don't, you know, y'all just, you know, hit the button, you know, we writing at the house, they pulling out maps. I gotta, you know, so I come from a different like tutelage, right? So when she wanted to come over, I said, listen, you know, this is what's popping right now. This group over here, you should probably reach out to them. She did. Boom, she killing it, right? Now, I was with a place that I've been for close, like I said, about 10 years. And what I'm doing right now is perfect for what the movement that I have to make. So I said to myself, I have to make a transition. I got to get into the social media space. I got to be able to, you know, present myself in that platform. I definitely thought about, you know, linking up with my partner, Treese, over here. My buddy is a social media influencer. He does have, not paid for, as she texted me and she told me he probably
I gave him
my
Right. Say it's organic. It's organic over here.
I just said if you want a lot of followers.
So she was on tip.
She went there.
So yeah, she did. She definitely did.
I definitely gave her a hard time.
And I explained it to her. I said, no, this is what it is. I'm not, you know, I know this person, you know, from childhood, like third, fourth grade, you know, but this is his business and he actually does put his team in front of a lot of good spaces. He throws all these events and parties, stuff like that. So I'm going to give this a shot. So it wasn't a shot to or at, you know, Treese. You know, I got nothing but love. And we're going to make some money together.
It's perfect. It's perfect, though. Like, alignment is really important. And that's one of the things I wish I would have took more in consideration instead of, like, just being a new agent. I wanted to definitely collab with people or pair up with people, partnership with people that I see myself in the future and not where I was at that moment. If that makes sense.
Sure. And I think it also kind of translates to with like finding out who works best for you and where you fit best to your clients. Because whenever I talk to people, whether they're friends or family or whoever it is, I say talk to as many people as you need to talk to and see who works best for you.
Right.
I'm not going to have bad blood if you don't go with me. I just think that I want to make sure that I'm fitting the role of what you're looking for best. And if it's not me, then do it with somebody else. But I think that after this, we should transition into kind of talking about social media and how that can be such a plug for real estate agents. And we will get to it after the break.
Yeah, so, our business and, the world is just so prevalent on social media. So, like, it's huge in our business as we grow. Norm, we were just talking about how you had to switch up the game because you were not on social media and now you're having to transition.
I'm a dinosaur. Yeah, like I'm like in this space now. I feel like, how they was making the transition back to the internet when you had dial-up and stuff like that. I'm trying to catch up. It's not easy. So, like, I think if you throw yourself in the game, like, that's what I'm kind of doing right now. I'm like, literally, like, I gotta do it, or, I might as well find another occupation.
So you didn't have GPS, you had like the road maps.
I'm like right outside. I'm right outside.
You had to know every street.
I definitely had a gun. I do have. I still like that though. Y'all don't mess with that, do y'all?
So you unstoppable though, because if this go out, I'm lost.
Listen,
it'll take me an hour to get home. Now I'm just joking.
I don't know how
I'm
to
not
pin,
joking.
like,
You're not joking?
Not joking.
And stuff like that.
Oh my.
Listen, I will say it took me a little while to figure out the whole pin thing too. So
I'm an Android guy though, but y'all be like, I heard y'all. It's like a cuss word. If you use Android, even my man behind the camera.
So you the reason why our thing is
no.
okay.
She made me use the iPhone, so I started using the iPhone. But
I was gonna say this is not an Android.
This is not Android friendly.
Android use.
No.
I'm learning.
So Shane, like, how do you feel like social media affects your business?
So I think that social media is such a huge part of branding who I am. We've talked about a lot, kind of just being yourself, and people are going to be attracted to that and want to work with you for your personality and what you bring to the table. I don't like to lead too much with hitting the facts on what home prices cost and what you need to bring in closing costs and all that kind of stuff, because those are conversations that we're going to touch on.
Right.
I want to get you in the door and say, that's somebody that I want to work with because I like his vibe. I like what he's bringing to the table. And so I do a lot with Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok that makes me happy. And I think the biggest thing that people do when they're trying to establish themselves as a social media presence is make everybody else happy or do what everybody else is doing. But what makes you uniquely you is doing just what makes you laugh, what makes you happy. And I think that's where you find success in using social media to elevate your business.
Yeah.
I agree.
I got a question though. So is it just me, or does anybody else kind of like put this like you create this high bar for yourself for like what you're supposed to be in a public platform? So like, for instance, like I like to enjoy myself, and I like to do it all the time. Like, I'm gonna have fun. I don't care whatever I'm doing, whether I'm selling a house or if I'm at home or with my family, I'm chilling. But it's like certain things, like I always feel like, I don't know if I should share this part of me, or whatever. Like I just feel like I'm supposed to kind of like be in this little box.
No,
it's you though. You want the raw you.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's
a thin line between professional and like inappropriate.
But that's the thing. It's your personal space.
But people, we can all agree. People do buy from people they like, know, and trust. Yeah. Right. So every time I put out social media, and when I put out anything, I'm thinking about, okay, who am I going to attract off of this? So if you don't want to attract certain type of people, don't put like stuff out there.
Because prime example, when I was doing mortgages, I referred one of my clients in like another state to a realtor who, is about business, super professional. And this is before the Instagram and the TikTok and, all of that. She found this realtor on Facebook and saw that she was a dominatrix And she was just like, I cannot believe you will refer me to this
Ooh.
person. She was upset with me
Mhm.
because of what she put on social media. So at that exact moment, I created a completely separate Facebook account.
Wow.
Because I was like, I am a different person. Like I have, either you get to know this side or you get to know this side. And it's sad, but.
So you have two.
I have two.
See, I have one of everything. That's too much for me personally.
It
to keep
is a
up
lot.
with.
It is a lot. But I mean, I don't post what I would consider a lot of ratchet stuff. Like if I'm with my family,
you said a lot of ratchet
like in my family. Okay, so we go on like a cousin trip. They know which account to tag. Like because my family is crazy. So don't tag that. Don't tag my professional account.
That's what I'm saying though. Like
you could be normal.
But you really shouldn't have to be like hiding that. I mean,
I guess.
I'm not saying, you just sit down and break down a bag of weed or something like that, and then expect to sell everybody houses. But you shouldn't have to be like, oh no, don't post this or don't post that because, ultimately it can and will affect your bottom dollar. How you provide for your family.
Right.
But it's just because, like I said, like people, they will make their own inferences on who you are based off of what they see and not what they know.
I think it depends on what market you're into. Like if you're trying to be in like the luxury market or commercial real estate and then it's a video, back-to-back videos of you twerking. Yeah. Like you might not appeal to, some of those buyers. So I think it's unfortunate, but I think it's true.
Even with the music, because you know how you put sound to your audio, like to reels and stuff, like even then you have to be careful what you post because it can be something explicit and it can offend someone. Yeah. So I'm really cautious with that type of stuff.
That I draw the line because it's just like if I want a song, I'm just putting a song. Because at first I used to be
You ever listen to the lyrics sometimes? I listen to the lyrics like, wait a minute, that ain't me. I delete it and post it on a different song.
But it is you because that was the song
because the beat, it's the beat.
Well, but you like that song.
And I think it all kind of
but I don't like the lyrics.
You got a little ratchet in you. What you do. It's okay.
Well, and I mean, like, I think that we should all be ourselves to a certain extent. Yeah. What Norm makes a good point about why should you be hiding yourself a little bit, but I think instead of just hiding yourself, it's not hiding your true authenticity. It's more along the lines of you're kind of shrinking your buyer and seller pool if you are being too extreme on social media platforms. Right. One good conversation I had when I got hired here actually was just more of a piece of advice more than anything, but it's like on your Facebook, I usually don't talk about my stances on political views, my stances on religion, just really big topics that people feel some type of way about. Because
but you go viral from that stuff too, though.
You can go viral, but it all just kind of depends. It can be in the wrong way too. So you just have to be cautious on what you're putting out there when you are trying to monetize your business and grow. True. I mean, if you're at a point where
you don't
care, then go for it. And celebrities, all that kind of stuff, they can do whatever they want to an extent. But for myself, I don't want to limit my clientele based on some views that I might have. I've never really been crazy outspoken about it anyways. I like
so you don't think you can rebrand yourself after something negative come out?
I think anybody can rebrand themselves. Yeah. It just might take a little while.
It still might be hard because even celebrities, like if they say something that is offensive now in this day and age,
that's true.
Everybody is so sensitive. So it's like
cancel.
You can't say this. You can't say that. So
I think you need to kind of not filter yourself, but filter yourself in the sense of you're targeting an audience of what you want to grow your business on. One of the best things about real estate is freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of yourself. Like a corporate job, you couldn't post the things that you post with real estate.
That's true.
So like just getting yourself and like letting those people know you beyond that once you meet them and you establish a relationship. And then you can, go further than that.
I think that's one of the reasons why I'm actually in the space that I'm in though, is because I always told myself that I never wanted to adopt. I wanted to adapt. And so I really like being able to have the flexibility of being who I am. And if if my income streams are like getting a little tight, and I feel like maybe I need to make some changes and adjustments, then that's what I'll do. But I do like to be able to kind of just give you my raw, authentic self.
And it's funny and it's fun.
But okay, so let's talk about that. So we talked about branding. Let's talk about how being your raw, authentic self can help you build relationships with buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
So for me, what I used to, and you hear different people tell you different things, like, hey, you should only post this. But people get tired of seeing real estate or closings, or like they want to get to know you.
Yes.
They want to know you
I
as a
unfollow
person.
people that do that all day. Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
so for me, I started talking about like my IVF journey and the journey to like my son. I have clients now that will get mad at me if my son doesn't come to their closing. Like, they're like, where's Ashton?
He's a part of you, yeah.
And I'm like, I thought I was doing a good thing, by finding him a sitter. No, like, they get to the house, and if he goes to a showing with me, they ask him, like, what do you think about it?
That's
And,
amazing.
like, so it's crazy, but it all started with me just opening up about my journey or, talking about my personal life. And it makes people relatable. I feel like I'm working with more people with families. So if my son...
What's IVF, if you don't mind me asking?
So IVF is in vitro fertilization. So that's when you have to go through a process, basically making a test tube baby, and essentially, like you take your eggs, you take some your spouse's or your mate's sperm, they pair together, they create an embryo. Your baby is growing in already 2 weeks before they even put the baby inside of you.
Wow.
So your body's playing catch up. I mean, I can go all day about that. That's a whole nother thing.
That's your miracle baby.
That is definitely my miracle baby.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
But I also think to piggyback on that, people are looking for connection.
Yeah.
And they want to feel comfort, and they want to know that they are your friend.
Yeah.
So instead of just seeing all of the real estate, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
We all have our real estate license. We're all realtors. But what sets you apart from everybody else? What makes you special and makes somebody want to work with you over all of the other people that they know that are real estate agents? So I think that, connection and making sure that your presence is known in an inviting way definitely sets you apart in this business.
And I think, like you keep saying, alignment. Like, I think just everything, personally myself, I'm very spiritual. I think everybody comes into your life and you align with people for a reason. So I think you meet different clients because you just gravitate towards these people and you're putting out the things that they want to see or the connection.
That's true. So I really, really despise cold calling. So I pick up the phone and I call people. But this is what I tell myself. I said, listen, someone need me today. I'm going to reach someone that was looking to speak to me.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Because it's like, you just don't know. And it's like, if you don't do it, you will never even have the opportunity. So that's just a tip.
Because people don't even so sometimes people really want to reach out or give you a call or something like that, and they just don't. Like, I have a lot of people say, I referred 10 people to you. I'm like, all right, nobody called. But, it's easier for you to just be like, well, see if you can give them, if I can get their number.
Yes.
And I'll get, because
we're
used to being in this space or whatever. So, no, it's like.
You make that initiative and just do it.
Yeah.
So I have a question for everybody then.
Okay.
How does everybody get their clients? Are they prospecting? Are they cold calling? Are they door knocking? Are they using social media?
Oh, can I go first?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, what I'm doing is inboxing people on social media.
Okay.
I've been heavy on the social media because you just see the green buttons all the time. So I'm like, hey, what's up? I said real estate. You need some help? Or you know somebody I can help? I cold call. Another thing is I just started YouTube, so I'm building out my YouTube channel and I'm funneling my content to all my other pages. So that's pretty much it. I haven't really got to that referral part of business just yet. I had a couple of them that I was able to convert, but
so
mostly
how's the inboxing going?
Inboxing is cool. Like he was saying, people don't want to reach out to you first. You have to make that connection. You can inspire someone. People tell me all the time, after I send them that inbox, oh, I like what you're doing with your social media. Because people see, my transition, for me, graduating from college and me, working a job, me starting my career. It's you inspire people, you don't even know it.
Yes.
So
absolutely. And you're killing it, girl.
Thank
this you. YouTube, I've seen you grow. We started at the same company, and I've got the opportunity to see you grow. And it is it's tears in my eyes. Oh, it's insane. You're killing it. You're welcome, girl. But yeah, Shane, how do you get your clients?
Well, a lot of my clients come from referrals and from my sphere. Outside of that, a lot of it is from social media and Facebook follow-up. So we at Social House are big on social media marketing through Facebook advertisement. I've pulled back a little bit on the Facebook advertisement just because I've seen more organic growth from my Facebook without having to pay for ads. So my success has come from being myself, and people have reached out and said, "Oh my God, I love your videos. Oh, I love this. I see you're killing it. I want to work with you." And
I want
that's
to kind of
something
question after that.
that kind of is a big part of my growth as a business person in real estate. But LaTrease, what do you?
LaTrease, yeah.
Mine is definitely social media. Like I said, when I first started, my first 3 deals were just from Facebook messages.
Wow.
Like, as soon as I posted, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, people would just, you know, call my sister, call such and such. So a lot of it comes from social media for me. I need to use my sphere of influence. I don't know what my issue is with just calling people. I feel like I'm the person at the family reunion passing out business cards. So I feel like they all already know. But then I'll randomly run across somebody that used somebody else, and I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
You know, like, you didn't know, you know. So I need to tap more into my sphere of influence. But for me, mainly social media, and then
the radio.
being on the radio. The
Good
radio
for
has
you.
been huge for me. For
How about
business.
you, Norm?
Yeah, for me, it's more or less like just it is my spirit. You know, people. I was a little popular, you know, some eons ago in high school and in my little small city of Romulus. So shout out to Romulus, homecoming king, 1998.
Oh my gosh, throwing it back. Oh
God,
that's funny.
So I do have like those people to just to say, you know, hey, you know, reach out to me, and they'll, you know, whether it be social media or if they know somebody and we have a friend in common or something like that. But I want to talk about dim the lights, right? I want to get to the dark part of real estate, right?
Okay.
Like, what is it that you guys don't like?
So I think we should table that for the next topic.
Yeah, let's table that. Let's go.
Casey, what's the
I forgot Casey.
yeah, we gotta get Casey in here too.
Casey's in the building, y'all. A lot of social media. So a lot of social media, like being myself, getting you know, content out. But I do cold calling too, and I'm gonna start getting into the community more. Like I
love that.
Yeah, I want to connect with people. I never wanted to door knock, but I just feel this insane want and need to door knock and like just see people face to face. And
here's just I door knock. That's a great one. You door knock, you reach more people versus calling.
Yeah.
Because
They
I
see your
did
face.
it. Yeah, I did it, and number wise,
they're like,
it's
"Damn,
amazing.
sure, you looking good, girl."
They gave me Gatorade and stuff.
Oh.
Hey,
I'll take a
doing it
snack.
on a hot summer day, they give you snacks and
I
stuff.
love that.
So we talked about kind of how we have reached out to clients and how we get our business, but after the break, I think that we should touch on what the market looks like for buyers now and kind of some deep and dark stories that we've had about buyers. So we'll catch you in a minute.
Like you mentioned, a lot of us are pandemic realtors, and we've seen the market transition like crazy over the past 2 years. What would you say to someone that's looking to buy right now? Like, what is the benefit in working with the realtor, and how is the market? Like, what do you need to do to get your home sold or to purchase your home right now?
That's a really great question. And in this current market, right, as we all know, we're struggling, and the market changed like so frequently. And one thing that we do lack because there's a demand is inventory. So I think of agents, we get together, we door knock, we cold call, we try to get more sellers to sell their house, especially like the for sale by owners or the expired listings. Coming up with strategies like why your house expired off the market, and coming up with a strategy to help them sell their house, right? Because typically it's for 3 reasons: the agent, the price, or wasn't properly marketed, right? And then so for sale by owners, like sharing that value with them, say, hey, if you go on an open market, you can get way more, you can net more for your property, because ultimately selling a house is a business decision. And working with an agent like us, you could potentially net the most, and you can do so quickly and efficiently, right? So just sharing the information that we have with sellers, buyers in particular too, because buyers, they use our service for free.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I actually just cold calling a couple months ago, and I pulled a for sale by owner, and I got to talking to them, and I had a listing appointment. They wanted to list it so high, and I told them obviously what the value of listing high is versus low, and we ended up going on the market and got them like 30 grand over what they were even expecting to get. So like, you need a realtor to kind of tell you those things, and like, we have strategies. It's a lot of strategy going into real estate. Like, you need to know that. And if you just think you can do it on your own, like, you're just not going to net the most money. And that's what we all want, right?
Right.
I think statistically speaking, I like Googled it one day to talk about it on the radio. For sale by owners, on average net 17% less
Less.
when
That's
they try to
huge.
sell their home themselves. And I think what they do is they are so focused on counting the realtor's money that you're going to lose out. I had a cousin purchase a home. I was the lender in this case. And the the seller was very adamant about not using a realtor. The house appraised $30,000 over what my cousin was buying it for. And I'm like, you were so worried about this agent, 6% that they have to share with a broker, and another agent, that you lost out on $30,000.
That's
my
crazy.
cousin walked into immediate equity, and she's like, is she gonna know
No.
that because it's your appraisal? And she was just like excited. Oh, it appraised, yeah, it appraised.
$30,000.
You know, then it's like if you had just took the time to use a realtor, you would have made a lot more money.
So you're trying to save that 6% and you end up losing what?
30,000.
11% of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Realtors are here for a reason. Like, we're not all these greedy, money-hungry people. Like, we have value. We bring things to the table. We strategize with you to get you the most money.
The key thing you said is the value. So, like, what I found is that I stopped just being a realtor in its common sense. Like, I don't just sell properties. I don't just show homes. Like, I actually picked up on the construction side of things. So, like, when my clients have certain things we're going through a walkthrough, you know, we all start getting that eye for what we need to fix and I fix them, you know, so I can make sure that you get that stuff done, you know, within reason. It's a part of one of the resources. And, you know, like you said, my network. So it's not just, you know, yeah, we all do want to get that bottom dollar. And I guess ultimately that helps everybody when you have that network and those resources and things like that.
Yeah, and I actually have two stories to add, and I'll try to keep them quick, but one of them is on the buy end and one's on the sell end, and it both have to do with for sale by owners or reaching out cold calling. So late last year, probably around September, I reached out and got in communication with one of my clients, Dorothy, and she's a great woman. She was just misguided and misled by her real estate agent. And I talked to her after her house went unconditionally withdrawn. And I said, hey, I see your house online on the MLS, and I was wondering what kind of went wrong. What happened? Why did you take your home off the market? Well, I knew before asking her why it came off the market, but I wanted to hear kind of what her experience was. And a few of the things were the house was overpriced. The photos were taken on the agent's iPhone, which is the biggest pet peeve.
You should have used the Android.
Oh, gosh.
She used the Android?
Right. And she was offering 5% commission, so 2.5% to each side.
That's a marketing strategy.
And that's a marketing strategy. However, so I went in and I talked to her and I presented my entire strategy on how I would sell her house, right? We have professional photos, we have professional video. I do an abundance of marketing to make sure that this house is in front of as many eyes as possible. And I priced it properly for the market. And I knew what her bottom line number she wanted to reach was. And I said, you're not even going to have to worry about the commission. I can do this for 6% and make you more money than you expected. And what happened?
You did that.
I did. And her house was on the market for 1 day. And we accepted a cash deal, closed in 3 weeks.
That's amazing.
And got her exactly what she was looking for. And it was because we provide value as real estate agents when we go above and beyond.
But you know, also, like, what I hear that you did too, and I think that a lot of people should consider this. And I want to apologize to people that had, like, bad experience with real estate agents because we're not like that, right? A lot of us do come from a place from... we want to contribute to the success of your house, right? Because ultimately, if you sell your house for a higher price, that's more commission we make too, right? So if it's priced right, it looks good, we get the buyers through the door, it'll work out for everyone. But coming from a place where we're contributing something first and adding value to that person, it'll take us a long way. And thinking about it as far as, like, me personally, when I first started real estate, I thought it was supposed to be this way. I thought it was, like, mostly transactional, but then I realized, like, this is a business at the end of the day, and I want to make genuine connections with people. So how can I take it a step further to actually find, like, some type of common ground with my clients and also, like, some type of real relationship with them till I have clients call me to this day and we can talk for an hour on the phone. I'm like, I'm with it. They invite me out for dinner and stuff. Like, that's the type of business I'm building. Like, it's family at the end of the day.
And you want to be somebody that they can reach out and talk to. So I kind of guess the part 2 to my saga that I was talking about was I had clients that I was representing on the buy side, and they found a house that they really liked that was a for sale by owner property.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out to the owner. It's actually a funny story because they sent me the property and then said that they wanted to see it 3 days later, and by that time she had actually taken it off the market. So I went down and I tracked her phone number and I said, hey, I have somebody that wants your house. And she goes, well, I don't know if I really want to sell it now, yada, yada, yada. It was listed for $530, I want to say, in Rochester Hills. And I went in there and I was like, okay, this is what I provide. I have these clients that are coming in. They love the house. I want to make a deal. Let's see what we can do. And she goes, okay, I'm not really big on working with agents. I don't know how much commission I'm going to pay you, all of that kind of stuff. Well, I came in and I brought great buyers that were very well qualified, and I handled the entire transaction for both of us and said, you're not going to have to worry about a single thing because I'm going to take over all of it. And if you want to pay me a commission based on my performance, then so be it. I got paid a 3% commission. We got the house for $480.
Wow.
Whoa.
And because I negotiated it and I did certain things throughout the transaction to kind of get my buyer the deal, because I have a fiduciary to them, not to the for sale by owner that thought that they could make more money on selling it themselves. What they did was lost money. It appraised for $30,000 more than what we got.
$30,000 is the.
And
That's why you need an expert. That's why you need an expert.
But it's one of those things that real estate agents do provide value, and a lot of the things that people don't realize is that when you sell it for sale by owner too, you're limiting your market exposure. You don't have everybody looking on the MLS. If you're not offering a commission, then you're going to basically shy real estate agents away from wanting to show your home because they want to get paid too.
Yeah.
And it just overall doesn't make sense for the most part. Yeah, sometimes a for sale by owner will make more money depending on
That's like
if they know what
1%.
they're doing. But yeah, it's
But
close
some
to
just
2 or
want to.
1%.
Some just want to get out the house and don't
And
want to have
it's-
to pay.
And
you
it's
know.
the ego too.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I can do it better, I can make more.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. And at the end of the day,
I wanted
you do.
to piggyback off of what you said real quick before we go to the next segment. Cell phone pictures. Oh my God.
Word.
I can't understand why people hire
They take
realtors
photos like this
and
too.
they don't even take. They have pictures with themselves in the picture. Like they'll do. I've seen crazy
I've seen
pictures
stuff
with
like
the
that.
realtor
I've
like
seen so.
off to the side. Like
Yes.
what are you doing? I've seen pictures with a
Oh,
baby.
they'd be like this in the bathroom.
Yes.
The
My-
arm,
so,
yeah.
But I love it because it works for my buyer.
Yeah.
So one house we saw with one of my buyers in Warren. The house was priced nice. This is when the market was super crazy. $20,000 appraisal guarantees. The pictures were horrible. I didn't even want to go show it. I was like, this is horrible. We went to go see it. The house was amazing. I'm like, we're going to get this house. We did like maybe a $5,000 appraisal guarantee, but I knew it was going to appraise.
Yeah.
So they didn't even have to pay the appraisal guarantee. I just told them there's no way you should have gotten this home for the price we got it. And when we got to closing, my cousin, he told the seller, thank you so much for the cell phone pictures. And he was just like, you know what? I told my agent not to put these pictures up. And he had paid for 4K pictures. He had put it on the market initially as a for sale by owner with professional photos. But his agent said, no, I have this. Went and took cell phone pictures. I said, there should have been way more exposure. We should have had way more competition. We did. It worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
And
But
what people should
it's
know
crazy.
too is that it saves you what, $200
$200.
$200.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
to get the
$200.
professional photos, which is probably going to get you $5 to $10K more.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
It worked
Yeah.
out in our favor, so I
crazy.
was excited.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Talk to a realtor is the main thing, guys. Talk to a realtor.
yeah.
But we're going to be back here in a minute with our final remarks, so we'll see you in a minute.
All right.
So the market's crazy right now, guys. Like, I mean, I know from my end, like, what are you seeing?
Honestly, I don't know what to call the market itself because every house is situational, but I know buyers are struggling, especially if they're looking for more affordable housing. So I guess structuring the offer to make my offer stand out from the competition. So I know one thing that I typically do is I try to build rapport with the listing agent. Like if they do pick up the phone, I call them, say, hey, this house is so nice, and fluff them up a little bit to try to build some type of rapport, and then try to probe and ask as many questions from my buyer so I know how to position the offer. Because ultimately I'm the expert and I want my clients to, pretty much listen to some of the suggestions, but also stay within the budget when they're looking for a house. And if it's a house that's over, like I have a client, honestly, he just got pre-approved. It took us a year to get his pre-approval.
Wow.
Right? So he got the pre-approval. He did everything the lender told him to do as far as building up his credit. And we are back in a market where houses are selling. Like he sent me 10 houses one time. And before we even went out to tour the houses, 6 of the houses were already pending.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 of them, the ones that he was interested in, I got a call and say, hey, you can still show the property. We're accepting backup offers, but that's no good to us if it's already under contract.
Yeah.
So I pretty much, I asked my client, I said, do you really want to purchase a house this year? He said, yes. I said, what I will need you to do is just listen to me and take my advice. And let's look at houses that's been on the market. For like days on the market is really important. Yeah. So we can find you a house and then you can take that house, you can live in it for a couple years and scale up to the house that you really want. Because I asked him, like, this not your forever home, right? And then he was like, yeah. So we're under contract. We're going to close soon. So.
So what I hear you saying right now is right now we're in a market that takes a lot of strategy.
Right.
So as an agent, you need to know what the right tools in your toolbox are to get your buyer's offer accepted.
Exactly.
I know for myself, like I go above and beyond in this market because you have to roll out the red carpet if you want your buyer's offer to get accepted when there's 15 offers on the table. So that's why it's so important to know those little synchronicities in the contract, like shorter inspection periods, higher EMDs, appraisal guarantee, escalation clauses. There's so many things that I use personally and build that connection because you, as a listing agent, you also want to work with a good buyer's agent, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a strategy and trust within your buyer and your relationship is so important right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the keeping the lines of communication open are very important as well. Every offer I send, I CC the lender because I want the listing agent to have access to the lender because if you have any questions, I don't want you to feel like you're in the dark.
Yes.
So that's something I always do. And I'll even have the lender call the listing agent and to let them know like, hey, we've already verified income. We've already verified assets, credit. You know, all documentation has already gone through a desktop underwrite.
That's so smart.
That's a good one.
I'm steal that. You know,
that's a gem right there.
As soon as you submit the offer, the lender call. Yeah. That's just like confirmation. Take this offer. Accept this offer.
Take this offer, baby. Yeah.
I love that.
I think we're in a really like interesting time in the market though. Like so, the inventory is extremely low. You know, like everybody knows that. But like you're saying, the buyers are coming up now. Like so, the buyers are really out here and fighting and trying to put themselves in the best position. So. Again, I think like I take every transaction is going to be 100% different. So, like I just got to strategize what each situation is. And it's super vague, but like literally like every transaction I'm doing something completely different.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that I've been doing with some of my clients is looking at days on market. Anytime somebody sees a house has been on the market for 90 days or more, they automatically assume something's wrong with it.
Right.
I can't tell you how many houses I've seen and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe
this
is still on the market.
Yeah.
But then that gives me negotiation power. I had a listing agent call me while I was at a showing. It was just like, the seller is motivated. We'll do what you guys need to do. And I'm like, you need to jump on this house, because you don't have any competition. You need concessions.
Yes.
So let's not look at the house that just came on the market today and ask for concessions. Let's look at the house that's in decent shape. That maybe, you may need a little TLC, some cosmetic updates, but you're getting a great deal and you're getting concessions. You're not bringing hardly anything to closing.
Well, and I think that's huge for kind of buyers in this market because I want to bring it back to what they should be expecting, they should be looking for. A big thing that I do is managing expectations and making sure that we're going into it knowing exactly what they can afford, what their budget kind of deems acceptable for what they're looking for, and what negotiation tools I can use to make sure that we get them a house. So if somebody needs concessions, for example, like you guys both said, looking at houses that have been on the market for more than a weekend, because we're not trying to go out and see houses that have been on the market for a day that are going to have multiple offers with appraisal guarantees, because then we're just going to kick our buyers right in the kneecaps and say, I know you just fell in love with this house and you want to write an offer on it, but let me bring you back down to reality and say there's no way you're getting the house. Right. I want it to be an enjoyable process for my buyers, and I want them to remember this process and say, you know what, I had a great first-time home buying experience with my real estate agent because he made me feel comfortable and knew exactly how to navigate the market. So although there is a lack of inventory on the seller side, there are a lot of houses still that are great for buyers, and we just have to make sure that we are managing those expectations, but also listening to our clients and making sure that we're not leading them into these houses that need a complete redo if that's not what they're looking for. We need to kind of alter what we're doing in order to make sure that they are finding exactly what they're looking for.
I want to just touch on something. He said we have a lack of inventory, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to say this. If you need a house that you want to sell, reach out to me. Because I want to be on the sell side. The buy side is cool, but I mostly just want to be on the sell side because we need the inventory.
Hey, I'll take all our buyers.
And it's one of those things, too, if you are looking to sell, there are different options. If you didn't want to fight everybody in the market and you wanted a home that you're not really finding out there, there are options to build, and you can sell, get top dollar for your house now, and you can rent for the interim until your new house is built.
That's a great point.
Huge way that you can really not see yourself take a hit or a loss, find exactly what you're looking for, and not fight everybody in the market.
Absolutely.
That's
So if you have questions about any of this stuff, make sure that you reach out to your real estate agent and ask the questions, because you're not going to really understand what the best option for you is unless you ask the questions.
And know that new construction houses does not mean you can't have a realtor. It really means you should have a realtor because your realtor is there to protect you. New construction, sometimes I've seen people get taken advantage from new construction. They don't know what to look for as a buyer. You don't know what a contract really means until you have a realtor. So always have a realtor on the buy side because it's free, right? Like,
It's free, yes.
buyers don't pay us. Sellers pay us our commission. So as a buyer, you should always have a realtor.
But yeah, I mean, I think that buyers shouldn't be deterred from looking in this market right now. I think that there are a lot of opportunity to find solid homes and get your real estate portfolio started. If you're looking for a primary residence, there are definitely options out there. If you're an investor, there is a lot of money to be made in the real estate business when it comes to putting your money in investments.
Let's talk about that buyer that's always concerned about the interest rate. What would you tell that buyer? Oh, interest rates are so high.
I
I'm
tell them
so
all the
sick
time.
of talking about the interest rate.
Like, it doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, especially if you're renting. If you're renting, your interest rate is 100%.
Hey,
Like, 100%
that's
of
true.
what you're paying
Hey.
is going towards paying off somebody else's mortgage or in their pocket.
Yes.
So I don't care if the rates. I've refinanced clients with 11% rates. So they're like, aren't the rates high? I'm like, well, I've seen higher, you know. So
Ask them what their grandparents were paying.
That's the point. That's the key
Right.
point there. 20%, 25% interest rates.
Yes.
Yeah, those were high interest rates, you know. But I think
But we
everybody
seen as
kinda got-
normal,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And to anybody that says, oh, back in the day, well, everything was more affordable, all that kind of stuff, you have to kind of see the whole spectrum in line
That's
of things
true.
that happened. What happened in the 10 years ago, cost of living was lower,
Right.
food prices were lower,
Right.
gas prices were lower, all the salaries were lower. So, I mean, it all kind of just flows with inflation, what we're seeing. I mean, everything costs more. So if you're going to say, oh, well, my parents bought a house for $70,000 that's now worth $500,000, it's not really as relatable.
It's
because-
people that was waiting to buy a house. Interest rates was like 3%. They wait until it go on 2. Those 2% buyers go wait until it go to 1%, which will never happen. But still, you're just gonna keep waiting for something that will never come.
And the 3% was just so low and not sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't talk about that as much.
People
that's
think
true.
that's normal. They think 3% is normal. No, guys.
So
No,
just
that was an anomaly. And then let me just say this.
Yes.
I got clients that have been waiting for about 6-7 years. Oh, I'm just waiting for the market to crash, and and I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, some expert said, that the market's gonna crash and then they'll buy, and I'm like, well, even if the market crashed, like you said, something else is gonna happen. It's gonna
balance.
You gotta think about the economics. Like, it's just not about real estate. Go ahead.
People bought more homes during COVID.
Yes.
Then, and it's crazy because people were like, oh, it's just this is gonna happen. It's gonna be all these crazy foreclosures.
Yes. No.
But you was on the mortgage side of things. So what was
that was my best year. It was crazy.
So why do you think, what do you think helped contribute it to not being what it was in like 2008, 2009?
So agents were telling their clients, do you want to shelter in place in a rental property or in your own home? It was just as simple as that. And it was crazy because even my best friend in Oklahoma, I had told her, use your VA benefits, buy your home. She waited until then. And it's like, you guys waited until the market shot up. Like all the prices went up, everything went crazy. And they decided to purchase and become homeowners then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think people just were afraid and just wanted to take a chance. I mean, they didn't have anything else to do.
It's a part of life.
Yeah.
Like if interest rates go up, a lot of buyers that are waiting, they don't realize that it affects multiple things. It affects your buying power, right? Because that it pretty much decrease it, and then also affects your monthly payments. So if you have a budget that you want to stick at, and I think that's an important thing, like buyers should bring up to the mortgage person that they work with, is lead with your budget, your monthly budget. What can you afford? Because you can get pre-approved for $400,000, but are you going to use that?
Be comfortable with your
Right.
payment.
What's
That is
your
so
max
important.
company
Exactly.
payment? Because you need to stay around there.
Exactly.
Don't go for your max pre-approval. Then you get the offer accepted. Find out the payment's not comfortable. We need to start off looking
Yes.
at your max comfortable monthly payment because a lot of times you'll qualify for a lot more. Your credit
Absolutely.
report doesn't show that you're paying daycare or
Right.
you know other expenses that you have.
That's
in
a great
life.
And you want to live your best life too, not just be house poor out here.
So I
You
think
know?
it's really important that if you're a buyer looking in this market, make sure that you're talking to your real estate agent. Make sure you're talking to a credible lender or bank. Make sure you're asking the questions because everything is attainable, but you have to make sure that you're lining yourself up with the best people possible to make those dreams come true and make that house purchase
Yes.
become a reality.
Yeah,
But
Absolutely. So you've
I-
got a panel here for
Yeah.
we
you.
got a panel
All of
people
us.
here.
So our contact information will be in the description.
Absolutely.
Your pages, your social media will be in the description. Do you want to just go around and give everybody
Yeah.
like your Facebook page, your Instagram really quick?
Yeah.
Before we close?
Sure. I am, this is Norm Trotter again, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate on Facebook, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate on Instagram as well. And that's Mr. and just the letter N, Mrs. Real Estate.
My name is LaTrease Posey. It's LaTrease Posey on Facebook, or I have a page at iCalledLP on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can just search anywhere that is your social media preference at iCalledLP.
My name's Shane Carnagie. I am found on Facebook at Shane Carnagie Realtor, on Instagram at Shane_Social House Group, or on TikTok if you're feeling spicy and want to see some fun
Yay.
content
I love
at
that.
Shane Carnagie.
I'm Cassea Bear. It's spelled Cassea. I know everybody gets it wrong, but you can find me on Facebook at Cassea Bear Realtor or on Instagram at Cassea_Bear Realtor.
And as you know, I am Cherie on all platforms.
Period.
You heard it here
Period.
first.